Well, good day, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Surviving the Holidays. It is your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I am here with the grief coach extraordinaire, Ray, along with Reverend Dr. Mark Fisher. We're giving you two tips, techniques, and takeaways that will help you survive this holiday season. I'm excited about today because you're looking at three reverends, three theologians, three pastors in our own right. Today, y'all, the two tip technique takeaway that we want to share with you as you navigate this holiday season is pray. Yes, it would only be right for Ray to start off with pray. Come on, Ray. Come on. Talk
I like how you did that, Pastor
talk to the
Corey. Thank you
people.
so much. Thank you so much.
Talk to the people and
So
help us as it relates to pray.
absolutely. I was reading a devotional this morning about the three most important words, and the text was coming from John 11 when Lazarus died and Jesus went to the tomb. And one of the first things he said was, "Father, I thank you." And so as I continued to read on, I was reading from the Passion Translation, and I think it was verse 41 that said, "God, you hear every word I pray," or "God, you listen to every word I pray," something along those lines. And so we have to be assured in that, especially in our space of grief. And it can seem like in that space, it would almost feel like that's when God's ears are turned off to us, because why did I lose this? Why did this change? Why did this person leave? Why did this have to happen? How did this happen? Why didn't you stop it? Right? We have so many questions, but even in that, God is still listening. God's ear is never turned away from us. And not only that, your prayers don't always have to be verbal prayers or audible prayers. Your tears are prayers, right? The breaths you take. I learned a couple of months ago from a pastor in Texas that there's a such thing as a breath prayer. And so it's almost like with every inhale and every exhale, you can set that intention mentally that you are praying. And so it doesn't have to always be the my granddaddy. He used to have those, y'all know them sheer socks with the pinstripe socks that yeah, man, my granddad would wear his socks, and he was a praying somebody. They knew when you gave Deacon Barnes the microphone, it was a done deal. Okay, he was gonna get his little moan and hoop on, and he'd end that thing and saying, "When I've laid my head upon your breast, to breathe out my last, how sweetly there." Like that whole little, we don't have to do that. That was for his generation, and I ain't knocking it because it probably got me through. You know what I mean? So whatever it is that you can say to God, however it is, if you got to yell and scream, if you got to shake your fist, do it, because God wants to hear from you. The Psalm says that God is near to the brokenhearted. And
Come
there are
on.
many times where grief breaks our heart, right? We feel crushed, we feel betrayed. And even in that, God is still with us, God is still near us, and God wants to hear from us. Even if that word is just help me, God, how could you? That's a prayer too. And God will answer. So open up, allow yourself to pray.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on, Reverend Fisher, talk to us.
Prayer for me is my lifeline. Is that connection that I have to God. But one of the things that I think is very, very critical, very, very important, is that people struggle with prayer. They struggle. What do I say? What is it that I'm saying? What words do I use? And it's your conversation. It's your opportunity to open up and share with God. But I find that for me, prayer has been what has kept me, what has made me who I am, just because it's a release mechanism like none other. I can talk, I can say, I can do, as I go before God and just share with Him whatever is on my mind, whatever I'm going to, and not in a selfish manner. It's prayer can come in many different facets. Just thanking Him, even in the season of the space that I'm in. Lord, I thank you for just sustaining me through what I'm dealing with. Give me more, sustainability in the time and in the season that I'm in. But I go back to say it's just my lifeline. It keeps me, it holds me, it roots me and grounds me in my day, to know what's to come, especially knowing that every year we've got these holidays that are coming up that are so pivotal and so hard sometimes to get through, thinking about those who've gone on and that have passed. That prayer, though, is what gets me through, and having more conversations with them, that prayer gets easier, the conversation gets easier and easier and easier, and the establishment of the relationship and the closeness of the relationship through the conversation of prayer, you'll be amazed what happens as a result of it. So I just tell people to open up and just open your mouth and just start to have a conversation with them. It's not any specific words or things that you have to say. Just do it, and you'll be amazed at to where it will go and take you in your space and in your season of grief.
Let me ask both of y'all this a question. How do you and you don't have to get too personal if you don't want to, but have you ever experienced a season of grief where you were mad at God and you didn't feel like praying, or how would you address somebody who's saying, I hear what y'all saying, all of that's true, but right now the way I feel, I'm not in the space to really pray. How would you address somebody who may be struggling in the season with what God has allowed to happen, what has transpired, and really like, man, you ain't my favorite person right now, God. How would you address somebody who's inside that headspace?
So I have
You
been
know, for
in that headspace where I'm like, yeah, nah, you're not the one right now. Like I don't really have too much to say to you right now. My mama would say, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all, right? And I'm just like, yeah, God, you not on my list, and it's not a good one. You know what I mean? And so for someone else who may be feeling that, I would just let them know that whenever they were ready, God is there, right? Like whenever you're ready, God is there. God knows that you are hurting. God is actually hurting with you. Even though it doesn't feel like it, even though you still have those questions, those questions in your head that hurt in your heart, like God is there. And so whenever you are ready, and again, it goes back to what you said, Dr. Fisher, you don't have to use eloquent words. You don't have to thee and thou, just get it out. Open up your mouth and say something, let that breath be a prayer. Let those tears be prayers, whatever that looks like. Whenever you are ready, God will be there.
Yeah. Time is critical. You time just allow time to work its course. I believe time is a part of the healing process, and so as a person is struggling with, not being able to engage God or have a conversation with God in due time, um, it will bring about a change. I've even been in the season when my daughter passed away to ask God, why now? Why would you take her away from us now? And my conversation in time, right, changed from not why would you take her, but it changed to a conversation of what now would you have for me to learn as a result of taking her? Because I had to remember that he was always hers. He just gave her to me for a time and a season. And so in my time of when I was upset, he helped me to understand and to learn that in my time of what I would have considered to be upset and frustrated and not understanding. But he also shifted my understanding of,
Mm-hmm.
of the why to the what, and the powerful
Mm.
opportunities that have come as a result of it, to me have been phenomenal, even though she's not here. So just allowing time to take its course with the person who can't necessarily go to God right now. Don't keep pushing them. Don't keep, you know, you need to get there. You need to get there in due time. It will work out.
I think that's so very powerful. I think also one of the most powerful aspects of prayer is intercessory prayer. And I think both of y'all can attest to the fact that you're only here today because somebody prayed for me. The old school song, My Mama Prayed for Me, had me on her mind, took the time to pray for me. I think whether it's mother, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, Ray mentioned her grandfather, you get on the knee on the deacon, the old school. I think we are riding on the wings of the prayers of the people in our past, people who stood in the gap and interceded for us on our behalf. And I think that even in seasons of grief, when you don't have the strength, you don't have the power to muster up a prayer. If you don't have it, You can even tell your friends, tell people that you know will pray. Look, I'm feeling some type of way right now. I don't feel like talking to the man upstairs, but what I want you to do, I need you to intercede on my behalf. I need you to please stand in the gap. Lift me up. Please lift me up. Whenever you eat, whenever you go to sleep, whenever you pray, just call my name and lift me up. I think intercessory prayer is very powerful, especially in seasons when people are struggling. So we want to encourage you. Everything these great men and women of God said, we want you to take that to heart, that you can pray. This is a tool-tip technique takeaway that will help you to navigate through this holiday season. Take the time to pray. And if you cannot, ask somebody that you know will pray to intercede to God on your behalf so that you can navigate through this holiday season. Look, we love y'all with the love of the Lord. Is Ray, the grief coach extraordinaire, the Reverend Dr. Mark Fisher, and me, myself, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr., providing you with 2 tips and techniques to help you survive this holiday season. We love y'all with the love of the Lord. Tune in tomorrow. And as always, y'all, remember, small steps lead to great distances. Now you know, let's go.